That's how I feel right about now. That's how I feel, people. And I know some of you are like, why are you feeling like that? You said that you man were going to draw anyway. It's not the result that's pissing me off. It's the manner of which Manchester United's equaliser happened. To those of you that did watch me on Monty's Big Six show yesterday, big up Monts, big up the gang for having me on the channel and that. I did say off the bat that I was going to go with the draw. I went in there with a level head and I went in there and I said, you know what? It's going to be a draw, bruv. I didn't say the scoreline, but I thought it was going to be a draw. And the certain Matisse Armani steps in. What's this guy on, fam? I'm going to smash these guys. Yeah. And then I said, yeah, you know what? I'm going to be positive. We're going to make it 3-1 to Manchester United. Lo and behold, the score is 1-1. How I would have loved for you, Matisse, to prove me wrong. But I had to bring that one up because I had to use that as an example. Positivity versus objectiveness, yeah, and this is why I will stay on the objective side, people. But listen, enough of the philosophy lesson, people. Chelsea won, Manchester United won, Premier League over at Stamford Bridge. I am still annoyed that we drew this game. We ain't beaten Man United in the absolute longest. Best opportunity to do so, but as soon as I saw 6 minutes in the stoppage time, I had a terrible feeling and I was like, boy, United are just going to equalise. I just don't have a good feeling about this. And it happened, but let's get into the game. Obviously, I've got the lineups either side of me. Kepa in goal, Chalobah, Thiago Silva and Cucurella. Start off as a centre-back trio. Then you've got Ben Chilwell and Azpilicueta as the wing-backs. The pivot, RLC with Jorginho, unfortunately. Mason Mount, Aubameyang and Sterling up top. Now, at the beginning of the game, before the ball was even kicked, there was a lot of controversy. There's several things that worried me in this lineup. Was the personnel, the shape as well. I did not like the idea of Azpilicueta being that right wing back, although he didn't do terribly today. And I did not like the fact that Ruben Loftus-Cheek was going to be left in the pivot with Jorginho. Basically means that he's going to be on his own against Eriksen, Casemiro and Fernandes. And you saw that entire first half. That midfield was non-existent. There was nothing there. Bypass, 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 bypass. Can one man do that job on his own? No. I'm not going to be overly critical on Ruben Loftus-Cheek because the one-on-ones that he did have, he fought well. He won a couple of his battles. Do you know what I mean? He done one or two things well. The man next to him, Jorginho. This is why I'm not pissed off with him. But Graham Potter needs to realise soon. This guy is not athletic. He's not an athlete. He cannot win a tackle. He cannot win 50-50s. Yeah? More times out of 10, he loses all of them. He takes too much time on the ball. A lot of the chances that came was from that midfield. They was just targeting Jorginho because they knew he couldn't win in the 50-50s. It was horrible. It was horrible stuff. But listen, the blessing in disguise was the fact that Graham Potter does like to identify things early. We've said this several times. Kovacic had to come on, which was we needed that massively. And as soon as he came on, it was like halfway or just a bit over halfway through the first half. Things stabilised a bit. But before then, United dominated the game. We had absolutely no control. Anytime we're winning the ball back, we're just giving it straight back to Man United. Anytime that ball's going into midfield, the loose balls, Manchester United are winning it. Man United's wing backs are literally, they're just constantly up high, pinning us back. We cannot create anything. United, their approach, they did not allow us to play from the back. You could see Ten Hag was not going to have none of that. They pressed us from the get-go. They was not going to allow us to get into no rhythm. Once we did add reinforcements into that midfield, it did become Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Kovacic and Jorginho. Then we did go back to the back four. It was Azpilicueta, Thiago Silva, Trevor Chalobah and Ben Chilwell at left back. So from there, things started to balance out a little bit. Still wasn't the best performance, but you can see that we was getting our foot back into the game. We're getting a bit of assertiveness in there. But for me, it was poor. It was poor. It was poor. There's not really too many positives I can say about the first half of the first half. Do you know what I mean? Except from a defensive standpoint, Trevor Chalobah. Fair play to Trevor Chalobah. I thought he put in another fantastic defensive display yet again today. The consistency from this guy is mad. If you're not rating this guy by now, you need to be giving this guy his flowers. Also as well, Kepa, I thought he made some decent saves. The last goal, we're going to discuss that towards the end of the video because it was a last-minute howler. Well, not a howler, but it was a last-minute equaliser for Manchester United. Second half, though, I want to just skip through the first half because it was just an absolute shit show. Second half, though, we did get things together a little bit. Manchester United, I felt like they didn't come out with the same intensity that they did have in the first half. The pressing had subdued quite a bit. And we was getting on top of them. We was actually winning the second balls in that midfield. I thought Ruben Loftus-Cheek was good as well today. The front three for me, I thought Mason Mount worked really hard. I thought Raheem Sterling today was off it. I thought his touch was off it. Opportunity to score as well, made the wrong decision. Even Aubameyang, I thought he was a little bit off it as well. He had several opportunities to score. Wrong decisions being made from both attackers. The two attackers that you'd expect in this team to know where the goal is and to know when to trust their instincts and really punish teams in front of goal. The two of them for me were slightly disappointing. Man, but when we did get into it, when we were able to finally push their fullbacks into their own half and really take dominance and control possession in the game, we just weren't taking the chances. It's again execution. It's either the crosses and beating the first man, the crosses overhit, the corner crosses not beating the first man. Yet again, the passes overhit. It's just the little final details that we cannot seem to get right. There are several problems in this squad that we need to address. But is this a catastrophic result? For me, absolutely not. It's not. 1 point against Manchester United at Stamford Bridge. Granted, given the circumstances, I'm a little disappointed, but still. The penalty situation, 100% was a penalty. This was made after Raheem Sterling was substituted off. Broja, again, with another impact coming on the pitch. Corner was taken. McTominay was all over him, man. He was on top of him like white on rice cuts. He just was not letting go of his man. Referee had him right in sight. I don't know how Manchester United fans are arguing this. I see Mark Goldbridge, I seen Terry Flewers even asking the question. Blatant Stonewall penalty. Blatant penalty. Well done for Broja for winning that penalty. Jorginho steps up to take that penalty. I was shit scared, I'm not going to lie to you, because Bruno went up to De Gea and he was whispering some stuff. And it occurred to me that Bruno takes a very similar penalty to what Jorginho does at times. So he was probably giving him some advice, something along the lines of, don't go too early because the jump is what's going to put you off. Jorginho stepped up. My heart was beating out of my mouth. Jorginho steps up. The composure needed to put that away. Fair play, Jorginho. 1-0. Can we hold on to this lead against Manchester United, a team that we haven't beaten since Antonio Conte when Morata scored them goals? That's long ago. That's way back. Yeah? No, unfortunately we can't. 6 minutes added time on. Manchester United, they pushed with the intensity. 1-0, you could see that they felt that that wasn't a fair result based on a balance of things. But they done well to get back in. You know, they controlled possession, they pushed numbers forward, they committed numbers forward. I think we were still resilient with our defence, but it was just that one moment, that cross that came in from the left side. Casemiro off balance with a beautiful header, finds the far corner, but Kepa gets a hand on it. Kepa does, he is fully outstretched, people. This is why I'm not going to be overly critical. There's not much that you can do about your height. Some might say your feet, your positioning might have been a little bit better. But in that instance, Kepa, he was at full stretch, pushed it onto the post. He did the best that he could do from that situation. I'm not going to be overly critical. I'm seeing accounts saying, oh, if Mendy was in goal, we would have saved it. Well, Mendy weren't in goal. If he would have saved that one, what about the other opportunities that they had? Maybe he would not have saved the other ones. This is what I'm saying. Like, you can't be overly critical and just be like, in hindsight, well, we should have started Mendy. Well, Mendy hasn't started for the past several games. And up until that point, he hadn't conceded a goal in that over 10 hours. So I don't know what people want. Yeah, Kepa, for me, I'm not going to hold him too overly responsible for that. But what I will say, people, my expectations, this is why I'm managing my expectations, because this squad that we have is not great. There's personnel in this squad that are going to let us down from time to time. That is not the manager's fault. That's why my patience is on this guy. It's not the manager's fault. But he needs to realise Jorginho is not the answer. In these high-intensity games, for me, he's not the answer. He gets pressed out of the game too easy. He's not athletic enough. He gets passed way too easy. Several of their opportunities in the first half came from just midfield mistakes and just a lack of athleticism that was there. You can't ask Ruben to do everything by himself. I thought, but in other news, I thought Jadon Sancho had a stinker. I thought he was kept quiet. I thought Anthony for the Manchester United players was one of their better players. Was tricky, giving us a bit of a headache. Outside of Casemiro's goal, I thought he was good. I thought he controlled that midfield. That's what you'd expect for someone who's played for Real Madrid for X amount of years and won that many Champions League. To people that actually thought that this guy was coming to get a payday and that he was a flop, I don't know for you. This guy is a top defensive midfielder. And today, especially today, in the second half, I felt that he showed exactly what Manchester United were missing by not having that CDM. And he had a good game, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm not going to lie, people. Is it a fair result on the scale of things? Yeah, I would begrudgingly say so. Obviously, I would have loved to get the 3 points. I would have loved to been talking crap. I'd been loved to calling out, you know, all of the Man United peoples, but unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be. Again, man, that header. Could we have done better? Could we have perhaps got another defender on him instead of Ben Chilwell, who's not your tallest, not your strongest midfield, your strongest defender? Could we have stopped the cross coming in? Listen, I'm a little gutted. Not surprised, a little gutted, but this is why I manage my expectations, people. Still not lost. That's the positive about it. We're still very much in contention for top 4. It has only been 11 games, so it's not really that bad. There's still another 27 games to play. In my opinion, we're only going to get better. So on the balance of things, I'm going to have to just be humble and take this result. Chelsea won. Manchester United won. People, leave your thoughts on today's game down there in the comments. Let me know what you think. Also, smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. And as always, at all times, up the Chelsea. Bless.